everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at Flashpoint Legacy of Flame. So this is based on a game called Flashpoint Fire Rescue, and this is the legacy version of that. So a couple things, if you've never heard of either of those things. Flashpoint Fire Rescue is a game where you play firefighters who are going in to save people's lives and put out fire. But saving people's lives is paramount. Legacy game is a game that changes from game to game, where you will be ripping things up, putting stickers on, and making permanent changes to the game from episode to episode. I was very excited about this one because I like Flashpoint Fire Rescue. It's a fun cooperative game, and putting out fires is something we can all be on board with, and the legacy idea with the story behind it sounds really cool. So before I talk about my opinions on the game, let's take a real brief look, very brief look, at some of the stuff in the game. I'm not going to show almost anything in this because I don't want to ruin it, and there's rule stickers that I deliberately have not put in here so that you don't see them when I open this and show you how the rule book works. But basically, you will be playing through a bunch of episodes. There are 2 prologues, and so you'll start here, and this isn't spoiling anything because the prologues are basically the base game, and they're going to explain how to play. First, there's the basic rules. There's some story, and then you'll go through the first prologue and the second prologue, which kind of catch you up on the base game with maybe, I think, some expansion stuff until you get to the episode 1 and go through those. Now, when you're playing through these, you'll be playing through a board book. There is these board books here. There's 2 of them, and you will be putting them together sometimes to build an area that you'll be playing in. And I just built this area upside down, but now you're not spoiled for anything. And so you're going to build that, and that's the game board that you are playing on. And so that's also, each thing will come with a giant folder, or the folder might be smaller like this one here. And there's all sorts of things. You're going to be building a character here with different artwork, and they're going to get more skills and equipment that they can get here. You'll have a custom fire deck. It just says advanced fire, but that will be changing as the game goes by. You get packs of cards that you're going to open and change, and there are stickers that you will be putting on the different characters. And there's a whole lot more. I think I can show you these, the characters, and the people that you're trying to save. And this is stuff that if you played regular Flashpoint Fire Rescue, you will have seen. The main differences are these big envelopes that you'll have that are going to show you what's involved, and you'll open those up and pull out all the stuff you need. And then it will come with these episode packs, like I said, that add story. There's also a paragraph book that comes with the game, and sometimes it will tell you to go to a certain paragraph and read something there, which will continue the overall story. Now, I know that if you've never played Flashpoint, what you just saw, you're probably very confused, and I get that. You can go back and watch my review of Flashpoint Fire Rescue, where we do go over the game in more detail, but basically the game is one in which you have a bunch of landmarks on the board, or these tokens on the board, and you think they're people, but they might not be, because it just could be noise from a room, and you run around trying to rescue them while fire is kind of spreading. Random fires will break out, explosives will be in rooms, and each person has special abilities. You have a certain amount of actions you can spend in your turn to move, chop down walls, put out fire, push back fire, pick up people, and drag them out. This game is essentially the original game to a T in that regard. They didn't change most of the basic rules, although rules are going to change. And in fact, with minor spoilers, one of the scenarios here is an outside scenario, which I thought was kind of cool. But let's take a look at there's 2 things in tandem here that kind of contribute to why I'm not really a big fan of this legacy game. One is pretty strong, actually. It was one I was not expecting, and that is, I think I've cooled on Flashpoint Fire Rescue. The game is very, 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 very random. It's going to be compared when it first came out. It came out very similar time frame to Pandemic, and there's luck in both games. But in Flashpoint, it feels incredibly lucky. You roll dice, a fire breaks out, it's already in a spot where there's a fire, so an explosion happens, and you're like, oh man. And you roll, and there's only one spot on the board, and that's the spot you roll. Everyone burns up and dies. Okay. But I don't mind that so much in Flashpoint Fire Rescue, because if that happens, you're like, oh, we lost the game, let's play again. When you combine that with a legacy experience, it's more brutal because, hey, we were trying to rescue this person, which will give us good things for the next one. This game has if you succeed, you're going to have more stuff to go into the future missions. Your people will get better. And if you fail, well, and when you're playing these scenarios, I don't want a scenario that you can lose very quickly. We lost a prelude game of this just through sheer blind luck. Now, partially that's because the prelude hadn't given us all the special abilities and things, and that really changes up the game. Having those special abilities can really help. There is a lot of cards, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of rules, and that also contributes to my not loving this. I also think the story, the written story, I think the story is fine, the writing is okay. And wow, there's some really interesting concepts, and I've gone through and looked at the whole story, and I don't mind that. And I don't know that the game needed to be this big. I don't like the box didn't need to be this big. And in fact, I mean, call out here, who wants a rule book like this again? Why is my rule book this size? I don't read a book this size, so why is the rule book so huge? I mean, look anyhow, the map books are very nice. It's easy to put them together. The other components, everything flows pretty well. And understanding the game is pretty good, although I didn't love that there's the prelude and then teaches you some rules, and the prelude teaches you more rules. And then if I want to see those rules specifically, I can go back there or go to the other book. And I felt that was a little messy. That's kind of the project as a whole. It's a little messy. We've learned a lot about these legacy games in the past 20 years. And legacy games need to be perfect. They do. You can't mess up in a legacy game because it ruins things. And so when there's these fiddly little problems in a legacy game, it starts chafing at you. And for me, and I played this with my kids, my teenage kids, and they were really kind of put off with sometimes just major swings of defeat that swung our way. That's not particularly fun. And the game is just like, hey, you thought that level was hard? The next level's harder. You thought that level was hard? The next level's harder. And I'm not complaining about the hardness of the game per se. I'm complaining about the fact that sometimes we just lost and we didn't feel like anything we did could have stopped that. And that I don't think is that exciting of a thing. Now, if you, and here's the deal, like I said, I like Flashpoint Fire Legacy, but I think if I played that game now, the base game, which, well, I have played it because I played the prelude here, I don't love it as much. And maybe that those wild swings of luck bother me more. But I still think the production overall, other than the giant rule book, is good. They put a lot of effort into this, and I think some people are really going to enjoy it. But for me, it's a 5 out of 10. It's not something that I want to keep coming back to, and it's a little unsatisfying in an era where we don't have a lot of legacy games, but some of the ones we do are absolutely incredible and amazing. I don't think this one fits in that situation, even though it is built on a pretty solid game. So that's Flashpoint Legacy of Flame. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.